Welcome to 2 Minutes of Tech. This is episode 14 and it's the final episode for term 3, 2001, which has been a very interesting term, being in lockdown, something quite unique. For this Forest Hill TV special, I'd like to give a shout out to Ryan and his little brother Adam for creating a tutorial for 2 Minutes of Tech, as well as Maya and Alina for doing a great collaboration on their tutorial, and Zara for contributing hers as well. I'd also like to make a special mention to Scarlett for her fantastic artwork she has been sharing, Helena for her unique artwork, and I'd also like to mention Anne and Raquel for their contribution to our videos and some of the work they have also done with their drawings. And to all the other Forest Hill School students who have had a go at the 2 Minutes of Tech activities, taken part in the Google Classroom, and contributed to the website. In this brief episode, we're going to look at a Google Chrome tool called PaintZ. It's very similar to MS Paint in Windows. It's something we've been having something like this tool in the mix. It's quite different to Google Draw. I'm going to use a artist called Tony De Saulles. He's a British artist who does cartoons for a series called The Horrible Histories. I really like his artwork, so he's made a few tutorials for drawing characters, which are animals. In the past, I've used these tutorials with students doing MS Paint quite a lot of years ago, so I thought we'd try it out again using PaintZ. So if you go to Project 4 on 2 Minutes of Tech, you will see the links that we're going to find down here, Episode 4, PaintZ. So the first place we're going to go to is we're going to Google search PaintZ. And when that comes up, you'll see you can go straight to PaintZ here within the browser, or you can add it to your Chrome. So I'd suggest if you have a Chromebook, click on this one, click Add to Chrome, click Add App, and it's going to put that in your apps, which you'll find up here. So I'm going to click on that to open it. This is what it looks like. You may have to resize it down here. To do that, you click on there, and if the scale is a little bit smaller, if it's a smaller square, you can just change this to 200 and click resize. That's if you want to scale it. At the moment, I've got mine on 100. This size is really good. This is what I want. But if, as I said, if yours is a bit smaller, you can change that. There's also a zoom here that you can zoom up and down, but that's perfect. 100 is good. Now we have this installed, we're going to do a web search for Tony De Saulles. He's there. This is the chap, TonyDeSaulles. Here he is. Here's some of his books, the recent books that he's got out. What we want to do is we want to have a look at his YouTube channel. So we will, scrolling down, and probably just if I click video up here, we will get to his YouTube channel. YouTube.com user Tony De Saulles. That's what we want. And what we're looking for is his drawings from the past. We'll go to look at all videos. If we scroll down, we'll find a bunch of videos here that I have linked on the 2 Minutes of Tech website, but the one we want is how to draw a shark with MS Paint. So I'm going to click on that one. Now there's a few ways we can do this. I'm just going to pause it for a second. So what Tony does, he takes you through and he'll do the drawing completely. He doesn't talk about the tools as he goes, but what we can look at is, well, he's created a curve that goes from the top of the screen about 3/4 of the way down. So we can go to our tab in our drawing. We can look at the curve tool here. The other thing is we want to choose our fatness of our line. His are quite fat. So let's just test it out for a minute. If we draw a line like that, maybe you want a little bit fatter, maybe 5. So I'm just going to go for 5 on this one. I'm just going to undo those lines for a minute. Now the first thing I want is to draw a curvy line like Tony. So I'm going to grab this curve tool here. I'm going to start in the same place and click. and hold down. So once I've drawn that line, I let go of my left mouse clicking. I bring my little crosshairs or the plus to the middle of the curve, and then I click again and I push in the direction I want it to curve. This is actually going a little bit too far. I think I'm going to make it a bit smaller, so I'm just going to undo that and have another crack. So I'm going to start up a bit here, come down to about there this time, not quite as far down as before. Again, make the curve shape, a smooth curve. Check it out. Yep, let's have a look at the next step. So this is actually forming the nose of the shark. So I'm going to go from that tip to here, and then I'm going to make a curve in the middle. We want to click on the end of the nose, hold the mouse button down, the left mouse button down, come across here like that in almost a straight line, then go to the center of the line and click and curve. Now, was it curving that way? I think it was. Let's just check that out. Yep, that's pretty close. Let's see what the next step is. Okay, so that's the nose. This looks like the mouth that we're forming next. So it's a sort of a fairly mild curve, but it's more curvy in this part. So let's see how we can do that with PaintZ. I'm going to come to here. Again, we're still using the curve tool. I'm going to flick between so I can see the differences in his and mine. Definitely my nose is a bit shorter, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. The next part is about the same distance, and it is again in a similar line. Click on the curve tool, click on the point where we want to start, hold the mouse down, go that way again, and this time when I curve it in, I'm going to start about here and curve it like that. And I guess these lines need to meet, but that's okay. I can maybe use a pencil tool to fill in those gaps. Let's take a look at the next step on Tony's video. Okay, he's formed the mouth, so we need to start here and do a fairly steep line down there and curve it in to make the mouth of the shark. Again, select the curve tool, pretty much straight down like that. Curve it to make the mouth. Right, next step. So we want to come back to here, and it's a curve forming the bottom of the mouth. We've got a lot more space to travel back on this one. Right, that should do us. Let's have a look at the next step. We're drawing the teeth. And the gills. Let's have a go at that. Start with the bottom teeth first. And for this one, we just use the line tool. And let's have a look. The same fatness of your brush. So let's start with here, and you just click and click as you make the teeth. We'll move to just sort of towards the end of there. Take another look at Tony's. I'm going to start where we sort of mean to finish off about here, and let's have a look at the sizing. Maybe one last tooth here. Let's look at Tony's again. This one's a bit of an angle going inwards. He's got 5. How many have I got? Let's have a look. I've got 5 as well, so that's good. And then the gills, we'll go back to using the curve tool again, and let's have a look where those are positioned. It's probably about here. And another one about here. Whoops, gotta select the tool again. Let's try that again. Out there. Just flip between tools. Another one here. And we can see 2 gills. I could do a 3rd gill on this one since it is a little bit longer, but we'll look at Tony's again. Do another one, so I'm going to just flick onto this again. there we have another set of girls. All right, what's the next step? The eye and the eyebrows, which are really cool. So for that, we use the circle tool here, the oval tool. Here we go, draw that eye in here. We'd have another eye cross about here. And we want a little eyeball. We're going to fill those in with the fill tool. And then we're going to use a straight line for the eyebrows, but we're going to make that a bit thicker. We'll try 8. Oh, and there's a little nose there. Like that. Now we're going to flick back to 5 again and continue with the video. Ooh, we're going to draw some dinner. Okay, these are quite tricky. 2 curves and the line tool, circle tool, curve tool, and making some fins to add on. More line tool, and circle tool, and using the paint colors and the select tool. Let's go back to ours and give that a crack. So I'm going to start my fish over here, go to the curve tool. Need another one here. So they're crossing over, curving it that way. Now we're going to use the line tool to do the tail and the mouth. Let's have a look at Tony's again. This line should be a little bit longer, so maybe the mouth's like this. That looks a bit more like Tony's. And let's do the eyes again, circle tool. Let's go here, and they're almost touching. They are touching actually. And then I'm going to use the paint tool to do a little dot, because the eyes are looking back at the shark. We can use the zoom in tool to help us with that, to make it, we zoom in and then we just scroll down. It makes it a little much easier to do. Okay, next we're going to use the line tool to draw the eyebrows. Let's have a look at Tony's again. We've got the gills and the scales. That's where we want our curve tool. The gill's going to be the long one. And scales, what Tony did on his was he drew the scales. Little, I'm going to click off that one. Click here and here. He drew the scales kind of small. And then he made a copy. And you can use either the select or the lasso tool, the freeform select tool it's called. And I'm going to zoom just a little bit more. It would happen to be quite a lot more actually, but never mind. Come across. Where's my fish gone? There it is. I'm going to go around so very closely to that gill. And then we've got these copying tools. Zoom back out again. Actually, what we want to do with this one, once we've got it selected, we're going to click this duplicate tool. And then we can drag it from there, place it on the, and then we'll just duplicate again. And we keep duplicating until we've got our scales where we want them. It's fine. quick look where the fins are going. Got a fin here, and we have a fin down the bottom there. I think that is all the detail we need. Now we need to grab the colors. There is a color choice up here, and we click on the fill bucket right here and make the yellow fins and a bright green fish. Now the next part Tony showed you was the lasso tool again, and what you can do is you can lasso all the way around really carefully, going around your drawing, and then once you've got it you can move it where you want it by clicking on it and moving it, but also you can duplicate it. So we're going to do the same process. The duplicate button, move another one here, duplicate again. Light green and the darker green for the ocean. So let's just look carefully where this line goes. It actually goes through the fins towards the end fin from where the mouth starts really. So let's do that line. It's a curve tool line. So it goes from where the mouth starts. Check it out again. Second tooth. Oops, I want to do a black line, so we'll choose my black color. Might drop it down to a smaller line too. So I'm going to go from here, through the fins, back to say here, and it's a curved line, so it curves actually this way. Let's try that. So we want to get a full color of grey. Ooh, we have a problem. Let's have a look. Oh, that's because we don't have our line finishing up here, so I'm just going to fix that now by clicking undo. I'll get my black line again. I'll get my actually straight line and probably do it. Okay, I've just repaired my shark by adding the line right up to the edge there, so when I do my colourful, the colour will not leak out. So let's try that again with the grey. Fill bucket. Click in there. There we have it. Now we're going to go for a green, and I believe you can customize the colors. So to customize your colors, I'm going to click the green, but if I click on that twice, I get this primary and secondary fill colors, and I can make this lighter by moving it over here like this. Still want it to be green and quite light. And then I can do the same. If I copy this, which is a hex color code, if I copy that into this one, then both will be the same. And if I save that color, I can use that color for my fill. Now the ocean color, let's have another look at Tony's, is similar to this, but it's going to be a little bit darker. So again, I'm going to go click, click, and I'm going to pull it down to get it a bit darker and perhaps a bit greener. So I'm going to put it on an angle actually. Let's see how this one works. And again, I'm going to copy this wee code here over here. I'm not sure the secondary and primary. So the primary is the line, the secondary is the fill. So it's really just the fill color that I need. Let's click save, and let's see what that looks like. We'll stick with that. Now let's see what the next step is. It's the bubbles. Right, we're on our final step. We're going to do the bubbles. If you look carefully, you can see Tony's put bubbles all throughout his drawing, and we're going to use the circle tool to do that. We're going to customize the color. We're going to go from this blue, click on here. We're going to make it a lighter blue than this again, nice and light. Very pale, probably about here. I'm going to copy that code across to here because that is the fill color. And now we've got a customized blue here. So I'm going to use the circle tool, make a series of bubbles. So once I've done my little series of bubbles, I'm going to use the select tool and just duplicate them. So this will be my 3. Actually, I might do a 4. So I'm going to use the select tool to select the whole lot, start off with. And I'm going to duplicate these like we did before. And I'm going to move these to places similar to what Tony did. So if you have a look, the bubbles are sort of behind the fish, as if the fish are making the bubbles as they go. So I'm going to make some smaller ones for in here. I'm going to pretty much copy what Tony's done. So I'm going to speed it up so it doesn't take too long. There. So that is our image done. Finish off our drawing and to save it as a PNG file. I'm going to go up to this little icon at the top, go to the left-hand top part of the screen and click Save As. We're going to give it a name. We'll call this Shark Attack. And we will save it as a PNG, and then we'll click Save, and we are done. And we can open up our picture and have a look at it. There we have it. When you finish your pictures, you could email me a copy, and then I can maybe feature it in another episode of 2 Minutes of Tech, or I could maybe put it up on our website as well. So that's it from 2 Minutes of Tech in the last episode for term 3. I wish you all a safe and happy holiday. I hope you've got something exciting planned for your holiday. I'd like to show you my project that I've got planned now that school is about to finish. So I'm doing this Apollo 11 or Saturn V rocket. It's the Apollo 11 mission. It's been sitting around for quite some time now, so I'm really looking forward to doing that one. So we'll see you all back at school in term 4. Until then, ka kite anō. See you later.